Howdy and welcome to the Confidence Through Health podcast. I'm Jerry Snyder. As an elite level athlete, owner of All In Health and Wellness, and author of the book Confidence Through Health, my goal is to help you achieve your goals and dreams using health as the conduit to get there. So I want to take a second to thank our sponsor for this episode, American Sports and Fitness Association. They are the place to go for your personal trainer and fitness certifications. They have a wide range of certifications, everything from personal trainer to golf fitness instructor to water aerobics to nutrition and sports nutrition. If you've been thinking about going into sports and fitness instructor arena, I highly suggest you check out the American Sports and Fitness Association. There's a link on my website, confidencethroughhealth.com. You can go there to look at other episodes of the website, but also check out their information. It'll link to their website, and you can check out more information about how to get certified as a sports and fitness instructor. Howdy, and welcome back to the Confidence Through Health podcast. This is episode 103. What I want to talk about is the difference between paying for medication and finding another route to solve your health problems. And what I want to pick on, and I say pick on because I'm going to pick on Lipitor, just because it's common, it's known, it's been around for a long time. And I'm not saying that it's a bad drug, because there are people that need it. But there's also people that are on it that don't need to be on it because they could find other avenues to take care of their issue, which actually is most people. They're just either they don't understand, they're not educated, they're not motivated, they're not willing to put in the time. So hopefully I'm going to shed some light on it to be able to allow those people, whether they're you or your friends or your family, that you can pass this along to them so that maybe this will shed some light and give some motivation to start taking their health into their own hands instead of taking a pill to take care of their health. So what I did was I did a little research on Lipitor. And if you don't know what Lipitor is, so Lipitor is a drug that is meant to, and it lowers cholesterol levels in people that take it. So somebody has high cholesterol. Why is that bad? High cholesterol leads to plaque formation in the arteries. Plaque forms in the arteries around the heart. You have artery blockages. When you have blockages, you have a heart attack. If you have a heart attack, you could die. That's why it's important, right? So it's one avenue to lower your cholesterol. And you lower your cholesterol. The hope is if you lower your cholesterol, you lower your risk of having a heart attack because you lower the risk of plaque being developed on the walls of those arteries. And plaque is just it's basically just like it is plaque on your teeth. It's just gunk that gets stuck to the walls that makes it hard for things to get through. And the things in this case are the blood vessels that are taking oxygen to your body, that are taking oxygen to the muscles in your body so that they can work. Your heart is a muscle. Your heart doesn't get oxygen. Your heart stops. You have a heart attack. So Lipitor is the first medical line of defense often when it comes to high cholesterol. And then you look at, potentially having a stent put in your arteries that actually is a device that actually expands and crushes a lot of that plaque against the side, and it opens up that artery so that things can then move through properly like they should. And then if a stent doesn't work, then there's bypass surgery, different things that can happen from that are more medically invasive. And if you haven't been told this, if you can avoid having somebody cut you open and you can heal and fix a different way, that's better. That's best. It's not always avoidable, but if you can avoid it, that is best. Now, so that we have a basic understanding of Lipitor. Here's Lipitor starts. It has multiple doses that you could be prescribed. So the minimum dose is 10 milligrams, and you would take it once a day. And so for 30 of those once a day Lipitor tablets is $183. This is according to drugs.com, so you can look it up. I looked it up myself. So $183 for 30 tablets for basically a month. Granted, I'm sure you can have insurance that can take care of some of that. Insurance doesn't take care of all of it. So that could lower down some. But I do know, because I've had friends and family members that have been on Lipitor, that the cost is not always that much cheaper on insurance. So for a year, that comes out to just under $2,250 for a year. So for a lot of people, that's 1 or 2 house payments a year that they're spending on one medication to lower their cholesterol. Why is the cholesterol high? Most likely, the vast majority of people that have high cholesterol are getting it from one source, and that is poor nutrition, poor eating. So you're just eating wrong, and it's driving your cholesterol up. Sure, there's some hereditary factors in there, and there's some other things in there, but just because your parent had high cholesterol doesn't mean that you automatically are going to get it or have it. It just means that it's a potential. So let's look at what another alternative could be, which is basic. I'm not going to talk about, food, obviously eating properly, but exercise. Basic exercise is an alternative, because what exercise does is it makes your heart pump faster. Your heart's pumping faster. What happens? It's flowing things through the blood vessels faster. There's more velocity as the blood goes through the blood vessels. There's more velocity as it goes through. If there's more velocity, think of it like a water hose. You turn a water hose on, and you've got water coming out, and you're just holding the hose, and you've got water coming out. That water's just trickling out and falling down, right? Just trickling out, falling down. You can put it up, out into the yard. It's not really going to make it. It'll make a little bit of, erosion or dent into the dirt and the grass, but it's not going to really do a lot. That's you sitting normal, nothing going on. You start exercising, especially if you exercise for a little bit. We want to go more than 15 minutes, more than 20 minutes. You start exercising that much. It's like putting your thumb at the end of that water hose, and the pressure starts building behind that thumb. But I'm not worried about like high blood pressure, because it's not affecting your high blood pressure from that standpoint. It's affecting the velocity of the blood as it comes through. The blood's going to pump through faster. So as the blood pumps through faster and you push that towards the dirt or the grass, what's going to happen? You're going to make a hole. Or if you wave it around, you're going to cause an erosion in a stream of the dirt, right? We've all done that. We've done that as kids. We've all seen that. We're like, oh, look at what it does, right? Well, that's what's happening. And so as it goes through faster, it's scraping the walls of the blood vessels and of the arteries. And so you're not allowing plaque to build up, because you're cleaning them off as it goes through. Okay. So this is why when you see the warnings that say, check with your doctor before you begin an exercise program, because if you have already got plaque built up on those walls and you start exercising and you go gung-ho into it, what happens is that some of that plaque can come off. As that plaque comes off in bigger chunks, I mean, obviously it's going to come off, but if some of it comes off in bigger chunks, then you risk those chunks blocking up against other arteries that have plaque built up. And then you've got a dam that's built up in your blood vessel. And if that dam happens in your heart, then what happens is you keel over. You're dead. You may not die, but you're dead in that moment. So this is exactly what happens when you hear stories of, this happened at Texas A&M. I know that just because I went there, and I remember hearing the story of, they had a band reunion. And so they had a bunch of older individuals who were former members of the band years and years past. They had a reunion. They brought everybody out on the field so they could play. It was hot. One gentleman passed out, had a heart attack. Why? Because he wasn't used to exercising. He gets out there and starts marching around with the band, and it's hot. Plaque breaks through, has a heart attack. Okay, so exercise is the alternative to Lipitor when it comes to bringing your cholesterol down and taking care of that and making sure that plaque doesn't get built up around the walls. Because you can have high cholesterol if you're exercising, and you're unlikely to have plaque. You're unlikely. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but you're unlikely to have plaque build up because it's not getting the time to sit and build and get all congealed to the cell wall, to the blood vessel walls. So the cost of Lipitor, talked about, $183 basically for a month, for 30 days. $183 a month. A pair of shoes. Comfortable clothes. We all have comfortable clothes. We all have comfortable clothes, right? Like, everybody has at least one set of comfortable clothes that you could do some basic exercise in, because you wear them around the house. You wear them around when you go outside to do different chores that you're not looking at having to dress up. We all have comfortable clothes. So that's not a new cost. Just put the clothes on. A good pair of shoes may be a new cost. Okay. So I'm just going to take the shoes that I know, because I have been running and training in the same pair of, or same style, not the same pair, but the same style of shoe for 3 or 4 years now. It's the New Balance. It's their model 880. Started out, I think I was in version 6. Now I'm in version 11 over the years as the new ones have come out. And so take that shoe. I track my shoes very extensively. And so I know that I can get in that shoe, I can get somewhere between 720 and 780 miles. So I rounded it off and said 700. I'm not even going to expect it to go crazy high. I just said 700. So that shoe, or that pair of shoes, right now retails for $130. You can find it cheaper on Amazon, of course, or other retail places that have discount shoes. But retail, right? So we're comparing Lipitor retail, no insurance, no anything, to shoes retail, no discount, no previous year models, none of that stuff. $130. Retails for $130 per mile. And this is from a running standpoint. So walking, you could get even more because you're not putting as much stress on the shoe. But per mile running at 700 miles, that's 19 cents a mile. Okay. So, and like I said, I'm usually getting 720 to 780 on these shoes. 19 cents a mile. So for a year, if you walked 4 miles a day, okay, the average person 4 miles a day, that would take you an hour to hour and 20 minutes. Okay. So there's a cost of time, an hour to hour and 20 minutes. So give up two to three sitcom episodes a night, right? 6 days a week. We're going to take a day off. So 6 days a week at 4 miles a day. That's 1,200, basically 1,250 miles for a cost of $230 for shoes. So you're roughly using 2 pairs of shoes for a year to walk 4 miles a day. So as opposed to Lipitor, which is $2,250 a year, you're looking at $230 a year plus an hour to an hour and 20 minutes of your day, 6 days a week. So you could save $2,000 a year, get a better health benefit, and avoid side effects. And here's the side effects of Lipitor. And here's the thing. They call them side effects because they know they happen. They're not potential side effects. They know they happen. It's going to make this happen. You're going to be constipated. You're going to have diarrhea. Figure that one out, right? Constipation and diarrhea together, but you're going to do it. You're going to have nausea. You're going to have fatigue. So you're going to take Lipitor, you're going to have fatigue. So you can't tell me I'd rather take Lipitor than exercise because the exercise I'm going to get tired. You're going to have fatigue with Lipitor. So exercise, yes, you're going to get tired, but you know what's going to happen? It's this crazy, almost unexplainable phenomenon that you expend energy and you get a boost of energy afterwards. Your body will reward you with being more energized after you exercise. It's your body's way of saying, I like that, give me more. So I'm going to give you more energy. Lipitor, you're going to have gas, you're going to have heartburn, you're going to have headaches and mild muscle pain. Mild muscle pain from Lipitor, you might get some mild muscle pain from exercise, especially if you exercise, you push yourself a little hard, you'll get some mild muscle pain. So if you're going to say, oh, but I'm going to be sore from exercise, well, apparently you're going to be sore from Lipitor too. So here's the other, that's just the basic side effects. Here's the serious stuff. Here's the stuff that they say, it causes this too. Not in everybody, but it causes this too. And if your muscles start wasting away or you have muscle breakdown, or you have confusion and memory problems, fever, dark urine, increased thirst or hunger, drowsiness, loss of appetite, or yellowing of the skin or eyes, which is called jaundice. So all those side effects for Lipitor are listed on rxlist.com. So that's legitimately, I just copy and paste it. That's it. And I read it off to you. So Lipitor, like many, many drugs that are for chronic issues, are not by any stretch meant to be on for a lifetime. From a physical, your physical body is not meant to handle that. But the drug company wants you on it for a lifetime. They don't want you exercising. They want you on their drugs. So if you start Lipitor, a lot of people start it in their 40s, your 50s. Let's just say you're 50. You're 50 and you start Lipitor, right? And you don't exercise. You don't want to do that. I don't have time for that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get sweaty. I don't want to do any of that. I'd rather just take the pill and drink a little water in the morning and I'm done, right? Let's say you start at 50. Let's say you live the average life somewhere in the mid 70s, right? We're just going to say 50 to 75. We're just going to take 25, right? So at $2,000 a year, more expensive than buying your running shoes, your walking shoes. More expensive than just buying enough walking shoes to make it that far. At $2,000 a year. for 25 years. You just spent 50 grand on medication. That you didn't need. You just spent 50 grand on medication that you did not need because you didn't want to spend an hour a day walking. You just spent 50 grand on medication. Is it all at once? No, it's over 25 years, so you don't notice it. But guess what? That price is going to go up. Or they're going to come out with a new drug that's going to be better, quote unquote, and it's going to be more expensive. And they're going to charge you more. And the doctor's going to say, we need to be on this one because it's new and it's good and it's better. And they're going to charge you more. So it's more likely that it's going to be a lot more than 50 grand. And you could say, hey, but the shoes come out and they're getting more expensive. Yeah, they are. But the other thing is you can always find a cheaper model. You can always find discounts. You can always find a reasonably priced shoe that's going to last you and it's going to save you $2,000 a year versus the medication. So if you retire at 75, and this is one medication, and let me tell you something, if you start Lipitor at 50 and you stay on it till 75, by the time you're 75, you're on more than one. You're on other medications too. Okay? Because if you're on Lipitor for that long because of high cholesterol, that high cholesterol, those other habits that you have that led you to be on Lipitor are going to lead you to be on other medication as well. So it's probably a lot more than 50 grand. But think about the people in your life that are 75 years old right now that are on a medication. Doesn't have to be Lipitor, it could be any. Just that are on a chronic disease. So chronic disease could also be labeled a lifestyle choice disease. That's the way I look at it. You made a lifestyle choice to get diseased. If you know somebody that's in their mid-70s that is struggling financially, but they're on their medication, and you're comfortable enough, ask them, what would you do with 50 grand right now? And see what they say. What would you do with 50 grand right now? If you had an extra 50 grand, what would you do? It'll open your eyes as to what needs to happen in your life as you get older. Because they're at that point. You're getting there. If you're 50, you're going to be there in 25 years. I'm 47. So I'm 28 years away. So if I ask somebody that's in their mid 70s, what would you do with 50 grand? Then I can look at it and go, I'm going to build to that point so that when I get there, I can do what he wants to do, but he can't do because he doesn't have the money because he's on all these medications. That's the choice that you're making. That's the lifestyle choice. So when somebody says, you need to choose wisely with your time and your money and your nutrition, it's not just in this moment right now, but it's what could potentially be in the future 25 years from now. Because if you don't choose wisely, in 25 years, you're going to be in a really bad, potentially in a really bad position. And not, what I mean by that is not being able to do what you want to do. Not being able to do the vision that you have for your life for when you retire, because you're going to be stuck. So think about that. That's just one medication $2,000 a year difference. Same result. Same result. So, and if you had $2,000 more a year because you're not taking, let's throw this one in there. If you have $2,000 more a year because you're not taking a medication, would you be able to eat better? I can tell you, you can eat better without costing you any more money. But for a lot of people, they think that it's more expensive to eat healthy. And so if you're stuck in that mindset, and I said, if you stopped the things that are leading you to that drug, that medication, and move towards the healthy side, it's not going to affect you financially at all. On a negative standpoint, it will make you better off financially. You will have positive results financially for making that change. So, something to think about, something to share with your friends and family, especially if they are on that borderline, if they've just started a medication, or if they've been on a medication for a long time. There's always times to change. There's always time to change. It's never too late. There's always time to change. So you can make that change by starting to exercise. And if you're on medication, by all means, you must go see your doctor first and make sure that they are aware of what you're doing. They don't have to approve of it necessarily from the standpoint of you need to go see somebody that they specifically approve to do the exercise plan. But they need to know what you're doing so they can approve that, yes, you are capable of exercising. You're capable of doing these things. Because otherwise it could be dangerous. If you're already on multiple medications, it could be dangerous. But if you have the right person who understands what they're doing and can guide you and direct you into getting started, guess what? You can come off those medications with time and you can save all that money. And you'll be a happier person. You'll be a healthier person. And those around you that love you will be ecstatic because you're going to be around for a lot longer if you can start making those changes. So share this with anybody that you feel might need a little extra motivation, that might need to see the breakdown of it, that might need to see that maybe their thinking is wrong when they think that it's just too expensive to be healthy. And that, you know what, it's just easier to just take a pill. Thanks for checking out All in Health and Wellness, Confidence Through Health podcast. Our goal is to use health as a conduit to help you reach your goals in life.
A little lighter than me. I'm about to black out. Her grip is getting tighter on me. I think I like it deep inside. I feel the fire in me. She like the milky, see me creaming to the coffee in me. She got soul in her sway.